Welcome to this explainer. We're jumping right into a really incredible ancient narrative today, found in 2 Kings chapter 6. It's a story all about perspective, sheer panic, and ultimate protection. Okay, let's dive into this and look at the invisible army of Elisha. Did you know the Prophet Elisha was actually once surrounded by an invisible army? It's just a completely captivating piece of history. Over the course of our explainer today, we're going to break down exactly what went down when a sudden, genuinely terrifying earthly threat collided with a completely unseen defense. Section 1. Surrounded by the enemy. A city under siege. This sequence of events here happens so incredibly fast. Right under the cover of nightfall, the king of Aram dispatches a really powerful army, and their sole mission is to capture Elisha. By dawn, these forces, literally armed to the teeth with horses and chariots, have completely surrounded the entire city. Then, early that morning, Elisha's servant wakes up, steps outside, and just finds this massive enemy force completely hemming them in. This trap was sprung with alarming speed. Section 2. A servant's panic. The physical perspective. Now, what's really interesting about this is that the servant looks out and just sees the king of Aram's formidable army. He sees all those horses and chariots, and it hits him. The entire city is surrounded. There is absolutely no way out. So based entirely on what he can physically see with his own two eyes, complete panic sets in. And honestly, you can't blame him. That is an entirely logical response. When earthly threats visibly surround you on all sides like that, panic kind of feels like the only rational reaction, right? Section 3. More are with us. The spiritual perspective. So while the servant is totally spiraling, Elisha just looks at him with this deep, entirely unexpected calmness, and he says, "Don't be afraid. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them." Just stop and think about the unwavering certainty in those words for a second. Despite a massive, fully armed opposing army literally sitting right outside his door, Elisha completely refuses to panic. He's seeing an entirely different reality. Here, Elisha systematically shifts his servant's perspective, moving him from this overwhelming fear straight into faith. First off, his calm words work to immediately neutralize the sheer panic in the room. Then, Elisha prays a very, very specific prayer. He asks for God to open his servant's eyes, and instantly, the servant's vision is completely transformed. The really cool thing to notice here, Elisha doesn't pray for the earthly army to pack up and leave. Not at all. He simply prays for his servant to actually see the invisible army that is already right there in front of them. Section 4. The chariots of fire, the unseen revealed. Let's move along and see how this builds, because this is wild. The mountains were filled with fire. Just imagine the absolute shock of the servant in this exact moment. Suddenly his eyes are opened and he looks right past that terrifying earthly army, only to see the surrounding hills completely ablaze with horses and chariots of fire. This is God's heavenly army, completely surrounding and protecting Elisha. That defense? It was invisible at first, sure, but it was there the entire time, just waiting to be seen. It's basically a perfect tale of two perspectives. On one side, you've got the king of Aram's army, made up of earthly horses and chariots. It's highly visible, and it's causing immediate, intense panic. But then, on the other side, you have God's heavenly army. It's literally made of fire, bringing instant peace, and is ultimately just far, far superior. The stark contrast between that physical, visible threat and this unseen heavenly defense is absolutely incredible. Section 5. Greater than earthly forces, the ultimate takeaway. When we take a step back and reflect on this ancient event, a few super powerful truths emerge. First, that heavenly army was there all along, even when the servant was completely blind to it. Second, God's unseen protection is far greater than any visible earthly force could ever be. So, the crucial point is that true protection and the ultimate reality of any given situation often lie completely out of our physical sight. The physical evidence told the servant they were entirely doomed, but the unseen reality meant they were perfectly safe the whole time. This leads us to a really big question. If the greatest forces are sometimes unseen, what might be protecting you today? It's such a fascinating thought, isn't it? It challenges us to look way beyond the immediate physical obstacles in our own lives and really consider the broader, unseen